Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. And so I have had a couple of techie issues today, but we are just going to push forward and ignore the fact that we don't always get to stream on the social platforms that we want to stream on. So YouTube and LinkedIn are good, just saying. And that's one of the reasons why I'm actually moved over to the YouTube platform, because I never have any problems. LinkedIn is a bit tetchy. Twitter didn't let me stream on, and we know that Facebook gets wonky, although I will repurpose this onto the Facebook platform. I am streaming in the soullegacyacademy.com for my students as well. So I just want to say that. So let's dive into this episode. And we're talking about spiritual business and life-work balance, but we're going to apply the intentional living and the intentional living codes, as I call them, to health. And so every single day we focus on a different area of our lives where we can balance our spiritual business and actually have a life. There's many of you who are like, you know what, this spiritual business is great and I have a purpose and I have a life calling, but I actually want some downtime, and actually I'm not looking after myself as well as I could. And we've all been there. Many of us are triggered through our spiritual awakening through health. And I talk about that each week, and I'll talk about that, and I'll have co-authors sharing their spiritual awakening story triggered on health, in fact triggered on all of the areas of the 7 freedoms. And so, as usual in this podcast, this daily podcast, I will be journaling. And so this is my journaling practice that I actually have made public, and I share all and bear all about my journey if you want to listen, just to resonate and see, you know what, there's somebody else who is on the journey and on the path with you. It was a really lonely journey for me. And when we relate it to health, I talk about health in terms of your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, your emotional health, your environmental health, your social health, all the things. And I'll explain a little bit more about the background of that, and how that when I went through my spiritual awakening, my vision was the only thing that got me through. So I share my journal practice, as I've just been called to, and it's called the Soul Legacy Journal. It's a notebook. I'm the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy, host here at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, and creator of the Soul Legacy movement and the Soul Legacy Launch Blueprint. Everything has soul in it. And this movement is to assist in improving the mental health and well-being of our nation and our future generation, escape a poverty consciousness and elevate a prosperity consciousness. And that starts with us. It starts with being a really great example for us to pass that on to the next generation. Not even just wealth and money. It's that consciousness when you can think and break those cycles and break those chains. So this journal is part of my awakening and shifting and supporting the shift in a prosperity consciousness globally. And so I say this is 365 days of your spiritual awakening story, a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. And that is for me, as well as I continue to go on the journey and I just share, you know, what is going on for me with my health. I care about what is going on for you with your health. And if you don't know, which I'm sure you do know by now, you can request access to a Google Doc. And so this Google document is to my free challenge. I have a 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board challenge and bank 50K in 50 days. And I'll talk about this every single day in terms of when we have a vision for our life work balance. That is amazing. And we can do a vision board together, and we do it all week, and we break our life and our business down to these 7 areas to live an intentional life. And I don't just leave you there by giving you information. I actually walk my own talk, practice what I preach, and come alive and journal about those same 7 areas. So if you are new to the 7 Freedoms Intentional Living podcast, then the 7 freedoms stand for an acronym, cheers to financial freedom, and it's a frequency that we emit. So in order for our vision to manifest, we need to emit that vibrational frequency to have it come into our world. And by that I mean slowly, not even slowly, incrementally, as we shift in our vibration, the things come into our life by synchronicity, by our choices, by our decisions, by our nudges, by our soul guidance. And soon I do that challenge annually on the second week in December at 7:30 p.m. UK time, Monday to Sunday. So every single year I do that, and I will reveal what I've been manifesting and how it's manifested, and what choices that I've made, and what nudges and what guidance, and obviously not all on that on the vision board challenge, but I will share what's manifested in the way that it manifests, because I believe that many of us think about the law of attraction, forget about the law of vibration, forgets what's underneath it, and we get tripped up with the like, well, there's the vision board, and like, now I've put everything on a cork board, everything should magically manifest, and like magically manifest in a way that is like just automatic, like the universe is orchestrating it, and all of a sudden the universe clicks its fingers and your life is different. It's kind of not the way that manifestation works, on the way that I understand it. We're living our life and we're making these choices in alignment with a vision that we decide that we want, that we desire, that is, we have a soul why behind, like not just a vision that other people tell us. And the vision for every single area of our life is really important to have that spiritual life work balance. When you're building a spiritual business, having a vision, having a movement. I have a movement, right? I've just shared what my movement is. And so by putting that on my vision board and breaking it down step by step, it feels less overwhelming. And so I'm able to look after my health while I manifest that, rather than going out there and just saying, that's it, I've got to do it kind of yesterday. If that makes sense. Like, I really want to look after myself and enjoy the journey. And we'll talk about emotions. So we talk about contribution freedom, life purpose on Mondays, contribution freedom Monday. So the Cheers acronym, the CHEERSF. I've got a little dyslexia, so I need the acronym. Health freedom is today. Then emotional freedom, environmental freedom, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom. So when we do our vision board, it's a beautiful process. We get to decide, we get to choose, okay, this is the life that I want to experience, universe. And then we get to decide every single day how we launch our day, lead our day, and leave our day in alignment with that vision or not, right? And so if we're in alignment with that vision and we're making our choices and we're speaking and we're acting and we're doing all the things as if it's already manifested, which is a little bit weird and wonky. I don't know why the universe has decided that way. But if we act and feel and as if it's already accomplished, then the universe kind of fills it in and says, here you are. Like, of course, like ask and it is given. It's, yeah. So I will share on the vision board challenge how I've manifested that spiritual life work balance, and also the journey. So this journey, doing the vision board challenge. So it's two pieces: doing the vision board, setting our vision, and then journaling about it. And we know the power of vision boards. I don't need to be here to explain that to you. And we know the power of the wheel of life. And we know I create a soul legacy wheel. And we know the power of journaling for our health and our mental health and emotional health and all the things. It's such a beautiful process to quiet the mind and get still and be grounded and reflect and all those things and become self-aware. It's such a beautiful process, and I call it intentional living, the intentional living codes. And having those 7 areas is just, it's just magical, and I'm on fire with it. And even when I'm not clear on the next steps for my vision, I just pause, and having these daily lives is a way to keep me accountable as well. I did not want to come on here today, and I'll reflect why. Not that I didn't want to come on at all. It's just I've delayed coming on till later in the day. And now I will share on my vision board. I actually have I dedicate my work to my son. So one of my spiritual awakenings, many of my spiritual awakenings have been through grief and loss. And so it helped me, the vision board, and doing a vision board has helped me to imagine life, right? And so losing my son 10 years ago, I made a vow that if I ever get through that, which I have, that I would give back. So 2 years ago, I haven't had it on my vision board. 2 years ago, I did some volunteering for Compassionate Friends, which is a charity for bereaved parents. And so I trained as a volunteer, and then it's taken 2 years. I didn't rush it because I don't want to be, another parent to be in that situation. But 2 years ago, I did the volunteering, and so 2 years on, I am now a one-on-one grief companion for another bereaved parent, another bereaved mum. And so last week I talked about, and so we'll reflect. I'm a little bit all over the place in terms of, like, I want to share with you what's going on with me. I want to share with you what this process is, and I want to share with you what that spiritual business and life work balance is in real time. So what we do on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, and I know that I haven't mentioned all of the freedoms, but they all entwine. So there's life purpose, health, emotions, environment, relationships, spirituality, and financial freedom. So last week and every week when we set our vision, we tune into intentional living, what our values are. And so that was a value of mine, to give back. And so, and to be authentic and to walk my talk. And if I can serve, I will. So last week, when I look back, I mentioned that I had got the call and I had my alarm go off. And so I promised myself with my own health, that's part of my purpose. I promised myself with my own health that I would put my foot in the foot spa, and I made an agreement that I put my foot in the foot spa and I would do my EFT tapping. And so I hadn't done that today because I'm in a different environment. And so I was like, and I noticed the difference. And so it's an honor and it's a blessing and it's beautiful, but it's still, I need to look after my own emotional health and my own mental health, right? And so as we move through building a spiritual business and what spiritual business and life work balance looks for us, things will come up and it will knock us off or have us not want to show up, right? And so I've got this daily life. I'm like, I'm absolutely showing up. I've made that agreement and that commitment. But because life and stuff happens, and I'll talk about emotional freedom tomorrow, and the vibration of it and going up and down the emotional scale. And when we are vibrating lower, our actions reflect that. And so I've been talking about dating and manifesting my soulmate. So all of these areas affect our health, affect our emotions. And so I'll talk about this more on Friday, but I was reflecting and it's like, okay, when you align with somebody and then our values don't align necessarily, the value of health is not aligning. And I'm like, okay, that's caused a disconnect. And I'm like, I stand in my truth and I stand for health and improving the mental health and well-being of our nation, but it starts with me. And so there's a dissonance there. And I'm like, okay, I want to share my life with someone who I am compatible with. So that then, and again, I'll talk about this on emotional freedom, that then affects your health, right? Especially when people around you are not aligned, then you can drop off. I'm rubbing off on him and he's like went to go and do shopping and I'm explaining what you do with your protein and your calories and your blah blah blah, knowing what your body needs to function. And it's like he had no clue. And it's like, well, this is micromanaging. And it's like we don't know about health enough, which should be taught in school, so it becomes the norm, right? And so that again affected my emotions. And again, I'll leave that to Emotional Freedom Wednesday and Relationship Freedom Friday. But you can see that anything that is going on in life can affect our spiritual business and that spiritual business life work balance and us showing up and us like being authentic. When something happens, and we're not looking after our health or we're not managing our emotions, we then don't show up as the best version of ourselves, or potentially we can drop off and say, oh, I don't feel like it today. I have so many students and so many people that I work with and that come to me say, I don't feel like it today. And I get that. And we do give ourselves grace, of course, but it's managing it. And if I don't feel like something, I won't force it. I came off the lives and I had other stuff to do, but I'm back on and it's like, yeah, keep going, keep doing what you're doing, keep looking after yourself, keep yourself accountable, etc. And I'm really grateful for these daily lives to be able to share with you. This is what my vision is. If I'm not emitting the vibration of my vision and I'm not giving myself grace, obviously releasing emotions and different things, then it just doesn't manifest. You end up blocking it. So this is my journey, as well as an invitation to you, as well as an invitation to my students in the Soul Legacy Academy. All of my subscribers, thank you for the new subscribers here at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. I really appreciate it. It's really lovely to attract like-minded people who are in spiritual business, ambitious spiritual coaches, earth angels, authors, and entrepreneurs who are on the journey of wanting to really serve, but also remembering to look after our own health. So I journal this process, and I have this vision board for a reason. And so we talk about vision on the journal. So I'm going to go into like you creating your vision. And so on the vision board challenge, and again, that's 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board. And I've created my business in a way that focuses on these 7 areas for intentional living. And so that I expect to have these 7 areas, like my business, to incorporate them, if that makes sense. It's not just like, I want to be on YouTube, I want to write a book, I want to do a course, I want to do a retreat, I want to do, and then forgetting that life's right, and unexpectedly in many ways. So again, on the vision board challenge, I talk about this in depth, our spiritual awakening, what spiritual ascension tools we gather, and then alchemizing it. And so many of my co-authors and students have amazing gifts and are so talented and help with health where they have dipped in their own health. And I'm just really, I really admire all of my co-authors, all of my students, what they do, because I don't do that. Like, I'm like, wow, but don't forget your own health. Sometimes we give and we give. So we'll talk about your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your environmental health, your social health, and any other health that you can think of that I haven't mentioned on the vision board challenge. And so you can log in, enroll or log in at www.soullegacyacademy.com/courses/vision board. And if you want me to be your coach and your mentor for raising your vibration, I call myself a low vibration teacher, I would love that. Inside that teaching portal, I do a 2-hour monthly coaching call for the 7 Freedoms Frequency call-in gym, because this is the 7 Freedoms Intentional Living podcast. It goes together. And again, focusing on my health, building a business where being self-employed, employing myself, then I have to show up, right? But I also get those down days. I also get to really look after my health. And as a one-on-one grief companion support volunteer, it's when we have a loss like I've had and other bereaved parents have had, health is the first thing. Eating is the first thing that goes out of the window. You're shot. Your emotions are all over the place. And then, I did have work to do, but I came offline for 3.5 years. At first, I came offline for 7 weeks, when my son passed, and then I came back on for about a year, and I came off for about 3.5 years. And so, when life be lifing, we still want to have that space where we can hold space. So again, I'd love to support you. So being in alignment with our values around our health, what is important to you? I've got on my vision board, like I was mentioning, like being in a relationship again. I've been single 3.5 years, almost 4 years actually, in the end of December. And I did not think I would be super single for that long. But health is one that is really massive, especially because I'm a lady of 52, hormones and stuff. But like meeting someone who was into health and fitness has actually proved tricky. I wouldn't say a challenge. It actually proved tricky. I'm going to just put it that way. It's actually proved tricky because it's very common for, somebody of my age, a guy of my age, to have kind of, not very common. Well, it is on the dating apps. I'm not even going to lie. To have let themselves go and to have a dad bod. I'm not attracted to a dad bod. I've been there, done that, and it's not something that I'm looking for. And so I've really looked after my health, and I have people. I've just had somebody that's a lot significantly younger than me message me on and like me on Hinge, and I'm like, were you bored? And he's like, you're a good looking woman. People want somebody that's good looking, and it's not about being good looking, it's about our health, right? And so, and they can feel my energy and all these things. And I'm like, I would like that back, please. It's not a lot to ask. Keep on swiping if that's not the case. And I'm learning to swipe on people that I see that are, because guys say, oh, the physical, we're blah blah blah. And it's like, have you seen the photos that you've been putting up? I'm just saying. So attracting someone who is in alignment with that and having fun with it and not seeing it as a chore has been a little bit tricky for me. Hence the whole dating and the whole staying true and the whole me training as a personal trainer and a gym instructor and a nutrition coach to speak volumes, because somebody's going to expect that. And I am doing the intention dating app on my second YouTube channel to attract a soulmate, and I will be doing training, personal training and nutrition as part of the dating app, and writing a book about it so that we can have a better standard on the dating app and a better standard and quality of life and merging of life and health, because most of the people that I've spoken to want to improve their health, but because it's a challenge, right? There's food everywhere. When you look in the supermarket, there's food everywhere that's labeled this, that, and the other, and it's really not. And it's just like looking after our mental health and our physical health and our emotional health can be a challenge in this day and age, right? Even the social media, they say, all the things. So really supporting you in looking after your mental health, your physical health, your social health, your spiritual health, your environmental health, all the things is so important to me, because I want to focus on that as well as part of that spiritual life work balance. They say that, I think I've heard Tony Robbins say, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And, I've had a lot of losses, and not all through health challenges, but some. And it's just like, wow, look at the food that we're eating, the things that we're consuming, just being really intentional about that. I am very, very mindful. But yeah. All right. So we talked about your vision. What is your vision for your health? Like, I've got so many things on my vision board, and they're manifesting, and it's beautiful. And, and again, when we talk about vision, we talk about all the areas, but we talk about vision. So as a personal trainer and gym instructor, I've got to live from that end. So walk my own talk. So when I engage in that way, and people are like, oh, like she's doing this and trying to call me out for it. And I'm like, I don't do anything that isn't in integrity. So like, I don't know what you expected. And so when we have that vision, again, it's, if I put that on my vision board as something that I want to work towards as a goal, as part of my purpose, then it's not just going to come. It costs money. It costs thousands. It costs me in time. It costs me in walking my own talk. It costs me in all the things. It's not just the universe is like, here, Iona, you'll be. I wish it would. Sitting that manifesting. When we're setting intentions, we've got to know that it takes time. So I want to share with you what else I put on my vision board, and invite you to fulfill your life's purpose in a way that's going to give you spiritual life work balance. And so I have the spiritual business book marketing on YouTube, free masterclass, and Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. You don't even have the money to eat healthily and all the things and make the good choice, all the things. It affects us. So I wrote my book. You may or may not have seen this book. If you're a student of mine, or if you're a reader of mine, if you're in my book club, great, thank you. Love you. And thank you for everybody supporting me. So this spiritual YouTube is from scratch. It's called A Soul Guided Influencer's Compass to Leverage Your Light Work and Lifestyle on YouTube. I know, and many people know, that we have burnout in business. We feel lonely in entrepreneurship. We have burnout on YouTube, burnout as like doing. I don't actually know how that really became a thing, because I refuse to. Like, I don't edit. I just come live, and that's me of looking after my health and not getting caught up on this, whatever it is. So there's a free chapter in my book. There's 2 free chapters, actually, if you register for the masterclass. And so as part of this leveraging your light work and lifestyle on YouTube, I put this book on my vision board. And then I gave myself a year to write it. I published it, got it to #1 on Amazon in 7 categories in 7 days. on pre-order, and I gave myself a year to write it, as that spiritual life work balance, and as that giving myself grace, and as that not rushing and moving forward, I felt like an author beforehand. And so I share with my co-authors, if you want to write your own book, I'll share with you how to do that. And so this didn't just happen. Do you know what I mean? I wrote the front cover, I thought of the title, I designed the back cover, I wrote the back cover, I had the testimonial, so I served those people. I even took the selfie photo. Like, there was action to make this all come together. I went on Fiverr, I got the Fiverr guy, I did the 5-day self-study course, which is $55. I did it 5 times on Facebook in order to make this whole book up. It wasn't just, oh, I wrote a book. And when I presented it to the guy that I was dating, I was dating, I'll talk about it on Relationship Freedom Friday. He was like, oh, wow, you've done this. Oh, good for you. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Not everybody writes a book and not everybody publishes a book. And I'm really proud of it. However, I did it in a way for my spiritual business so that I could have that spiritual life work balance, and so that I could leverage my light work and lifestyle on YouTube, and I could journal the process, and I could visualize the process and all those things. And so I share with you in the book what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. And I really want to call more light workers forth to show up, speak out, and serve deep, but also do it in a way that you're really looking after your health. And so I share with you on the masterclass how you can become a co-author in our co-author collab series, and you can share what your spiritual awakening is, and if you've had a spiritual awakening in health, and if you are now working with your soul clients on health. I've lost my page on health, and you've got a vision for that, and that is your value to do that in the world as your life purpose. I'd love to support you in that. So let's move on to, do you know what? It doesn't feel like Tuesday. I'm just checking to see if it is. Right, let's move on to, we've got your vision and we're being in alignment with your values, right? Every value, every decision that I make is in alignment with my values. And when people don't necessarily have the same values, they're out of alignment. They don't resonate with you. Values have a frequency. And on the vision board, in that online teaching portal, I have a whole values list. And I talk about, and I give a quote where values have a certain resonance. They have a certain, they lead you in life and in the decisions that you're making. And if you're out of balance with your spiritual business and out of balance with your life, and it feels off, it's usually you're doing something that isn't in alignment with your own values, or adjusting your values to adapt and have different qualities in that area. And so one of the things that we do here on the 7 Freedoms Intentional Living podcast is rate your vibrational frequency. So we talk about vision for freedom, we talk about values on freedom, and we talk what that freedom feels like, and then we talk about your vibrational frequency. And I've been talking about it right throughout this episode. And so hopefully it's landing, and hopefully it's inspiring you, and hopefully you will take soul guided action to really look after yourself, and join me on the Vision Board Challenge, and join me on these daily lives, and share them out, and etc. I know that some of you are listening, some of you will watch, and that's just lovely. I love it. So we're going to rate our vibrational frequency in our journal. So this is what we do every single day, right? Use our journal. I use my journal to keep score and keep track on my vibrational frequency. I remember when I had this vision, it's like, wow. And at the time, my twin flame was like, oh, nobody's going to really want to do that because it's a lot. I'm like, it's a lot to live out of alignment too. So we rate our vibrational frequency between a 1 and 11 every single day, whether you come on with me live or not. And again, this is for me. So my health freedom, emotional freedom will probably not be as high tomorrow. I will have a lower score just so I can sit where the dip is, so I can see, oh, well, there's my emotions. I will be fine by tomorrow when I do that rating. But like last week, I dipped my relationship freedom because my relationship, I had challenges in a certain relationship, and I'm like, I felt fine by the Friday, but I wanted to acknowledge the journey. And so, Health Freedom Tuesday, I do look after my health, and I'm very intentional to the point where I'm shining so brightly that when someone comes into my life, they're like, "Oh, well, I'm not looking after my health as well." Or I had a conversation where somebody said to me, "Oh, do me a favor, really." Uh, really look after yourself because I know you're busy. I'm like, first of all, I don't do busy. I do ease, grace, and flow. And they said, just have, eat good food and eat lovely food over the weekend. I'm like, do you know what I eat? So I shared what I eat, what I do eat on a daily, and I tend to eat the same thing every single day, and then I'll switch it up. And they were like, wow. And they were inspired to then go out and do their shopping. And I'm like, this is this food group, this is that food group. And I'm not perfect at it, but I do look after myself. And so my mental health, emotional health, physical health, spiritual health, environmental health, social health, all health, I do look after and I do manage. And so my rating today is an 11. One is a meh, like, are you feeling so funk? And 11 is so flow, and I feel guided, I feel in flow. And it triggered me, upset me that someone would then, like, uh, uh, what would I say? Just push back against, like, I'm doing the things for myself. You've asked me and you're not in alignment with it because you don't want to do it, or you just are not, it's confusing because you don't understand it. Or some people are just too lazy to do it, and that's fine. I have an app that I've downloaded called NutriCheck. And initially, and I will do this with my clients, initially, when you are going on any kind of journey for your health, for your physical health, and your food intake and exercising, and you've got to kind of do an assessment. And this person's like, I don't want it to be boot camp patient. I'm like, it's not a client. I was dating. So it's like, you've asked me for help. This is the way that you do it. You know, when you don't know what you don't know what it's going to take. It's just like, I want this healthy and fit body. I want this, blah, blah, blah. But look, I will live to 100. That is my plan, to live to 100 like my mum's mum. And I say will, and I'm like, oh, I always say I plan, and my mum said, no, your grandmother said she will live to 100. So I've said it, and it's like, oh, it feels a bit weird, but I'll get used to saying it, right? And so if I want to live to 100 and I plan to live to 100 and I will live to 100, then I'm 52. And I said this when I was 40, so I've been blessed to have another 12 years. Um, it, Looking after myself is a big deal. So my health is like that leading. And if I merge my life with anyone, then they're gonna need to be in alignment, or they're not for me and I'm not for them. And so it's a hard one to, I say hard, I don't usually use that language, and I'm hearing myself say it. And again, I'll talk about this on Emotional Freedom Wednesday and talk this out of me. But yeah, it's something that I didn't expect. But the universe gives us what we need, and it's like, this person or someone better, please. That's what I've asked for. Manifesting and merging in my past relationship, that spiritual life work balance, it matters who you are merging with. And the health didn't align then. And it's like, okay, I won't settle for anything less because it knocks me off balance. And now I'm doing that, and I'll do it as part of the business and part of the intention dating. If somebody's not in alignment, it's a no. And I've gone back on Hinge and Tinder, and again, Bumble. And again, I'll talk about it on Relationship Freedom Friday. And you're like, why are you talking about this with your health? It's emotional health, mental health. It's stuff that's going on in that moment. And I talk about my business so that nobody ever has the power over me. And I know that, this affects, and I'll talk about the book that I read for today. All the emotions affect our health. And so I was swiping, and I swiped on Tinder, and the first person that I matched was somebody that I wanted to match with. He's actually a personal trainer. Actually, I did match, actually, not I wanted to match, and we've matched several times, but we've never gone on a date. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That's more like it, like somebody else and he said to me, I'll help you with your fitness training and blah, 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 blah. And we were supposed to go out on a date actually in the town that I'm in, or is it a town or is it a city? I don't know. But in the place that I'm in. And I'm like, yes, universe, bring the synchronicity. I was thinking about him. And I was like, maybe he'll pop up. I was set the age and the range for him to pop up. And it was the first person that swiped, which, yeah, we'll see. But looking after my health, as a spiritual business owner, as a light worker, is so important because we're always giving, we're always, we're serving. And so we can't serve from an empty cup. And I know that many of my students, actually, and the people that come to me and the authors that share in the book have had either addiction or trauma in the way that they've had health stuff or mental health that sounds awful, doesn't it? Mental health stuff going on over the years, and childhood trauma and all things, of which we all have childhood trauma, but like really significant. Their stories are just incredible, that they've overcome so many obstacles and adversity. I'm really looking forward to sharing the book with you. It launches on the 6th of May, on my son's birthday. We have the Kindle launch on the 22nd of April and the paperback launch on the 6th of May. And I will be interviewing my co-authors as of October 2025, if you're not listening to this, and then we launch 2026. So there's so many ways that we can get help and support for our health. I love it. I love that we can come together and support each other, but our mental health and well-being, improving that and assisting in that is me calling in others who are talented, other light workers who are talented, who have a gift, so many gifts, to be able to support the collective. And doing that as a collective, it's just a real honor and a real blessing, to be fair. All right, so we've rated our vibrational frequency. What is yours? And when you rate your vibration, you add up your score each day, and at the end of the week on Sunday, on Financial Freedom Sunday, we calculate the score that you've got for the week. And so out of 77, so it's between 11 and 77, anything in between, whatever your score is, whatever vibration you're emitting. And that's the thing for me as well, is because I'm living intentionally, and because I've set intentions, and because I walk my talk, not everybody understands it in the dating world. Like, they're like, what's she doing? You're amazing. What are you doing to get there? And so I walk my talk and I'm high vibing, and people say that they're not used to that. You're like the most positive person that I've come across. And it's not poverty, not prosperity, not positive thinking. It's a prosperity consciousness. And there's a lot of people that are vibrating at poverty consciousness, and that's okay. Those of us who have moved through this transition, that was my goal, and it's taken me years to move from a poverty consciousness to a prosperity consciousness. And I'm not saying that never have lack or any kind of thoughts that would lean over to the poverty consciousness, but the majority of my thoughts, it just becomes more automatic to find the solutions and vibrate at that frequency. And when we are shifting that, then we can elevate the prosperity consciousness of the planet. And so looking after our mental health is huge, and that's what I've been called to do. So high vibing is kind of where I'm at, and when I dip, it feels like a bigger dip for me because I vibe so high. And I remember when I first was downloaded the intentional living codes, and I was coaching a lady, and she's like, oh my God, like 21 days or something. She's like, I'm so high. I can't believe I'm so high. And I say this to my students as well. I'm like, I'm really sorry to let you know that the idea isn't just to stay high vibe. We will have contrast. And then when something happens that isn't even as big as what you've dealt with before, it will feel like boom, a crash. And I'm not trying to speak that into existence, but that is how it feels. Just a little dip, what would have been, it just feels like a bigger dip, if that makes sense. You don't even have to dip a lot. You just feel the contrast. And I felt that today. Yesterday and today. And again, I'll talk about it on Relationship Freedom Friday, because I am in a space where looking after my own mental health and my own emotional health is a priority. And there isn't anything or anyone that can infiltrate that vibration. You know, we all dip, and we're supposed to dip, it's fine, and then we learn, and then we might go a little bit off center, and then recenter and regroup. And because I've got this podcast, and because I've got my own process, which we all have our own process, you'll have your process. So apologies for that. You'll have your own process, right? I have alarms for everything. Alarms for the next thing. This is normally, I'm not usually on this late doing this podcast. So I will move forward with what else we've got to talk about here today. But that spiritual life work balance is just so huge. Have you done the vision board? Let me know. I know that people are hopping in and hopping out, and I do this live because I'm not someone who wants to edit. I don't want to correct myself or jump cut or do bells and whistles. It's just not me. I'm not in alignment with my values that way. Not at all. and it would affect me to try and be perfect. I'm a recovered perfectionist. I'm just saying. So we've done vision, we've done values, we've done vibration in terms of health. We've rated our vibrational frequency. And if you haven't rated it, you can leave it in the comments. Now we'll set our soul's intention. So if you've been with me on this podcast and you were here last week for Health Freedom, and it doesn't matter if you were or you weren't, but next week we'll come back on and talk about health. So we talk about each area of our life for the 7 freedoms and for living an intentional life. And so last week we set soul's intentions. And so the way that we do this, and again, we are here, we're present. And when you look back on your last week, how has your health been? Have you been looking after your health? Have you dipped? Have you had a contrast? How are you feeling today? Where are you in terms of what your spiritual business and life work balance looks like? And it's okay wherever you are. And what do you want to experience for the next week? And so it's a really great way to reflect on and to be present in and set intentions setting soul intentions to adjust your vibration, to adjust your thinking, to adjust your actions, to adjust the way that you're speaking, to be in alignment with the vision that you've set. It's so beautiful. You get to see how you're showing up, speaking out, and you can't move away from, oh shoot, I'm not doing those things I said I'd do. Are you doing what I said? I didn't put my feet in the foot spa today, and that was an agreement, but I don't have my foot spa with me. And so and tapping, doing my tapping. So it's like, okay, making sure I can see the difference of not putting that emotional freedom or that health self-care in. I can see the difference of it. It's like, that's why you did it. That's why you said, because I did it last week and the week before. It's beautiful. So what I want to say is, what actions would you take? For me, that's one, definitely. And so I've come up with a new routine because I'm in a different environment. I'm walking out in nature. I love it. I love just my daily walk. So I've got the same routine, but in a different environment. So I was walking on the treadmill. Now I'm walking out in nature. And it's gorgeous. It's lovely. So what routines do you have while you're working in your spiritual business, while you're building your spiritual business? How do you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day? In the morning, how are you getting up with health in mind? How are you leading your day with health in mind? And how are you leading and leaving your day? Launching, leading, and leaving your day. That is your legacy every single day. And is it in alignment with the spiritual business and life work balance that you're wanting to manifest? If you haven't done the vision board challenge, this is going to make less sense. But if you do the vision board challenge, and again, you can request access to the Google Doc and do this vision board challenge annually with me. It's completely free on my YouTube channel at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. I love it. It's a process that I could charge for. And I do say, if you want some more support with me, if you want a 2-hour monthly coaching call, I do bonus that in. I do gift it because it's that important to me. And I talk about it in my book. Like, if you come onto the masterclass, my masterclass, I will give you $77 per month of 2 hours of coaching. If you want to sign up for my bootcamp, the Soul Legacy Launch Blueprint, or the Mastermind, I give the students who are on that masterclass live And you'll see it's Spiritual Business Book Marketing on YouTube, a free masterclass, and Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. And I'm going to go through the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge in a second, meaning funding your lifestyle is huge, and it might not be 50K for you. It's okay, but we're going to do it vibrationally first. And I think if you're going to manifest £5 or 5,000, why not manifest 50,000? It's like, is she kidding? Like, bank 50K in 50 days doesn't even sound believable. We do the maths in the homework, and I laugh because I can hear it's like she's gone crazy. She's gone up. But that's what I've been called to do. I once went through program. Oh, I can't remember the lady's name. Hell yeah, what's her name? Oh, I can't remember. I can see her face. Suzanne Evans. So I saw her face and her name came, and she had I think it was 100 days to 100K or something like that. Hell yeah program. I don't know if she still does it. And I was like, oh, and then Nicola Bird had 50K in 90 days or something like that. And Bank 50K in 50 days is just beautiful for me. So we will kick off that in the visible world. I will share with you on that masterclass how to speak to, serve, and sign up your high-paying one-to-many soul clients, one-to-many, working one-to-many, giving yourself that spiritual business life work balance. The business model matters. So I will share with you how to speak to, serve, and sign up your one-to-many high-paying soul clients online, and that's a mouthful. But when you create passive income streams and you position yourself as an author on Amazon and an authority on YouTube, then it helps with the positioning you as a soul guided influencer, not just a salesy influencer. Like, I just want you to buy my stuff. That's not what it is. It's guided by our soul. We're here as light workers, as ambitious spiritual coaches, earth angels, authors, and entrepreneurs doing our light work in the world. We're here to do it in a way where we look after ourselves. If we are burnt out, if we don't look after our health, what are we going to do? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel good to sacrifice and to be that kind of in that martyr role of like, I just want to serve, and it doesn't matter about the money. Like, it does, and you know it does, and the cost of living has gone up like through the roof. It matters. But then people are spending money on so many different things. I'm like, wow, being in the city, you know, when you're like a hermit and you're in the home all the time, when you're going out and being in different places, different coffee shops, different bars, different restaurants, different markets, different shop, like there's money going around. There's not money. Do you know what I mean? And so banking 50K in 50 days is okay. So just saying, when we give that value. So how would you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day? Set 1 to 3 soul intentions. And if you are a student of mine, you can come into the 7 Freedoms Frequency Calling Gym and add up your scores for the week and then share them with me, and I will coach you in any area that you're dipping. All right, so let's do gratitude. And so I say, and then we'll do the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, so you know what it is. So, hang on. So I say gratitude, and we want to express gratitude for the things that are on our vision board, the things that we're experiencing. And I like to say I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the things that are in the past. I'm looking because I'm supposed to go on a walk in a little while. In the past, in the present, or the predicted future. So with the 7 freedoms, we're going to bring that vibration from your vision board, to bring that vibration of you being the version of you who is manifesting that spiritual life work balance anyway. So for me, when I did my vision board in December 2024, and I'll do it again live in December 2025, there's a vibration that I've been emitting in order for me to manifest. And no, it isn't that life, it just doesn't life anymore. There's challenges and there's different things along the way, but being grateful regardless of the obstacles and the challenges is still going to have us in vibrational harmony with what it is that we want to manifest. So we say, I'm happy and grateful and appreciate. You can say out loud with me, you can write it in your journal, do it how you do it daily. Remember, I know that you say gratitude anyway, but this is like a process to not leave any, it's intentional, to not leave any areas out. And so it's just beautiful. So we feel the feelings of being happy and being grateful and appreciating. So I am happy and grateful and appreciate. So the cheers to financial freedom frequency, the CHEERSF, the intentional living codes, the 7 freedoms. So contribution. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my contribution, to a bereaved mum, today. So as a volunteer for Compassionate Friends, I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that I've been able to do that, that I've been able to set that intention that when my son passed 10 years ago, that if I got through that, then I would give back. And I've honored that commitment to myself and to my son and to her son. So I'm really happy and grateful that I can contribute in my light work and my lifestyle. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate health. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the beautiful and nutritious food that I have every single day. I'm happy and grateful that I had some banana cake from my friend. She made it. It was homemade. She didn't make it for me, but I've eaten just like half of it. It's all gone now. Like, it was so delicious. It was lovely. I'm happy and it was really nice. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that emotional freedom. I was able to feel the feelings in terms of dating and be able to share them and to be able to still hold true to my values. That's huge for me. And again, like for emotions, honoring our emotions. And again, I'll talk about the book today. I was talking about reading or listening to Weight Loss and Body Confidence by Jessica Ortner and doing some tapping. So that's really huge. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my environment. YouTube, and it's just such a beautiful platform to stream on. It's awesome. Thank you, YouTube. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my relationships. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the relationship that I've been able to build with the mum. It's just a really, really beautiful relationship. I'm happy and grateful, and I'm grateful and appreciate the relationships that I've had while I've been dating, all of them, including the last person that I connected with. I'm happy and grateful for that. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the spiritual connection that I have with my higher self, that guidance that always brings me back and always nudges me to be here. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate financial freedom. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate I would say my friend, she bought me some water and she's just about to buy me some eyeliner because I ran out of it. It doesn't have to be something great, like the income coming in and the money going out. I'm just happy and grateful that, it's the little things sometimes that, to be grateful for. So I'm happy and grateful that I'm always provided for. All right. So let's do the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge if you're like, is she crazy? So the spiritual life work balance, I journal. So this is my journal, the Soul Legacy Journal, as I'm the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy and a host here at the Soul Legacy TV. Again, spiritual business success with Iona, what success means to you, right? And so the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge, if you do the vision board with me, this will make more sense. So if you sign into the 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board, you'll see the vibrational money voucher. And if you come to the masterclass as well, I've put that in the homework, and we spend vibrational money. So this journal, it's called the Soul Legacy Journal. It gives you £1,000 or dollars or euros every single day for you to spend on soul client income, soul family influence, and soul tribe impact, that influence, and have experiences. And so what would you spend £1,000, dollars, or euros today on? It's not going to be on bills, and it's not going to be on taxes. It's not going to be on savings. You're free of all those things. Everything's covered, but you will tithe 10%. And the 10% that I tithe for my banking 50K in 50 days in the vibrational world is to the Compassionate Friends, the charity for bereaved parents. It's close to my heart. I love the experience that I've had with the charity. They've just been really, really helpful to me, and I've seen the work that they do. So what cause would you tithe 10% of this vibrational money? And we know that everything's energy, so play along with me. And then if you're ready, we'll do it in the visible world. You will see that actually having that money is safe, being a version of you that can tithe, being a version of you that can have all of the experiences easily and effortlessly on your vision board, just like that, is amazing. So that is the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. I challenge you to Bank 50K in 50 days with me every single day, whether you're here with me live, if you're a student in the Soul Legacy Academy and you are a student who comes onto that monthly call, I challenge you to bank 50K. I challenge you to be in vibrational harmony every single day. All right. Yes. Okay, cool. All right. So what have we got left? The book that I was listening to. I don't have any notes. I'll just share the overall message. So I listened to quite a few chapters today of Weight Loss and Body Confidence by Jessica Iona. It's an amazing book. I've listened to it a good few times, and I always recommend it, always suggest it, even more so when you're managing your emotions. And so, again, I'll talk about emotional freedom on Wednesdays, but the tapping is releasing those emotions that are trapped in the body and tapping on the meridian points and saying different statements, right? And so energetically you're releasing, and the meridian points at the end of the meridian points for when you have acupuncture, they tap into those meridian points, and it's all connected to the organs in your body and all the things. I don't know how it works, but it works. And so the main thing that I took away from listening today was that our emotions having that such an impact on our health, and stress having an impact on our health, like just the little stresses, just the little things that become stressful, that we worry about or that we resist, or as spiritual business, it can be stressful to figure it out, to, just anything, all things can be stressful, depending even more so, I think, with a poverty consciousness versus a prosperity consciousness. So because our emotions, and Jessica Iona talks in the book, Weight Loss for Body Confidence, tapping, she talks about the different areas and like childhood memories and different areas of our life that can be stressful, that we can tap on those. And it's not about the food, it's the emotional eating. And I'm really proud of myself because, yes, we're talking about health today and we're talking about spiritual life work balance, but I didn't emotionally eat when my emotions fluctuated yesterday or even today. Supporting a bereaved mum, I didn't emotionally eat. I did have some banana cake, but it was intentional. I didn't, and I have done, and that's okay. And so I was like, no, I've still got my plan to follow, my eating plan to follow. I will have my protein shake, I will have my boiled eggs. And I did that. And then I went to sleep. I was like, I'm going to sleep early. As Abraham Hicks say, when you have these emotions, have a nap. And I did. I went to sleep. I didn't resist it. I listened to some stuff on YouTube. I woke up listening to some stuff on YouTube, managing my emotions that way. And and released some stuff. And so it takes a little bit of a while sometimes, but it was really good to listen to that. So every Tuesday I focus on listening to or reading a book on that area of my life. So if you are, again, a student of mine, and you come to the 7 Freedoms call-in gym, the 2-hour monthly coaching call for spiritual life work balance, then we have a book club, and you can focus on the books and actually get value from the books that you're reading, rather than just reading them and leaving them on the shelf. I love my book. I encourage my readers to go through my 5-day challenge, and then I give Q&A. So if you do purchase my book, Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a Soul Guided Influence Compass to Leverage Your Light Work and Lifestyle on YouTube, and you come to the masterclass, the Spiritual Business Book Marketing and Bank Free Masterclass and Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, I do gift. It's a 4-hour training. It's a free 4-hour training. It happens on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time. I will gift you a coupon code for an entire year's coaching if you move forward and work with me. But I also will give an $111 coupon code for Q&A for book readers who go through the 5-day challenge, or for my boot campers who go through my boot camp. And if nobody shows up, I get time off. I love it. That's me creating spiritual life work balance for me, of showing up to the people who want to be served. And if there's nobody there, then that's good. So I've done the book for the day. I've got a card for the day, and then I'm going to wrap up. I try and keep these to an hour. It doesn't always work, but we're good. All right. So this is Keepers of the Light. Let me take this down. Keepers of the Light. You've got those oracle cards by Cal Gray. And so this is the card that I pulled for today. Dwal, I don't even know how to say it. Dwal, cool. Dharma unfolding. So this was for me, and hopefully this resonates with you. Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. When you just get what you need to hear when you need to hear it, that part. Dwal Kul, known as the Tibetan, is a Tibetan Buddhist master. He is said to have many incarnations, including as a devotee of Buddha himself, and as one of the 3 wise men who've honored the baby Jesus. Through his earthly experience, he has learned the importance of spiritual practice and discipline, and knows that the path we are on unfolds over time. He knows now helping light workers follow their dharma, that part, which is a Sanskrit word, I can't say it, Sanskrit word for the right way of living. That, and so when I talk about mental health, emotional health, when somebody pushes back on your right way of living, and because their values are out of alignment, or they're scared, or they're too lazy, or they're too what have you, it's like, really? But then you ground and you get those confirmations that they're just not in alignment, and that's okay. Extended message: when Dwal Kul appears in a reading, he reminds you that your path is unfolding as it should, like as not in resistance. And when you have that vision, and you have that vision on your vision board, you're like trusting the process, even when it proves a challenge, right? I'm saying that to myself as well as to you. So take one step at a time. Remember that your only spiritual function is to be happy. You are a powerful person with many lessons under your belt and a real capacity to share your wisdom with the world, as we do, right? Take the time to go over what you've learned recently, recognize the strengths it has brought you, and acknowledge where you have been courageous. I love that. Valkul is now working with your angel guides. Thank you. To help your journey unfold like a beautiful lotus flower, one petal at a time. I love that. Thank you. Amen. I'll take it. Fantastic. I think that is it. We are done with that spiritual life work balance. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for staying this long, right till the end, listening, taking action. Again, come to the Spiritual Business Book Marketing on YouTube free masterclass. Let me know how you find it. Request access to the vision board document, and follow along with me. I've loved this journey, and this episode has really helped me with my mental health, my emotional health, my spiritual health, my physical health, my all the things. It's lovely. So I will see you on the next episode. Thank you again. It's Emotional Freedom Wednesday tomorrow, and show up, speak out, and serve deep. Be blessed in your soul purpose, because you were born to serve. Take care.